Let's get weird. It's your boy Tommy G here with the Friday Night Roundtable show. We got the fucking gangsters in the building. Brian Healy, Scarface, and then we'll have Trevor and Mike, I believe, will be joining us right after this. So we're going to do what we did last week. Obviously, we talked about the Roundtable show. It's the hottest DFS show in America, and everyone wants a piece of it, but the subscribers are not very happy about us giving it away for free for multiple weeks. So what we're doing now is we're meeting in the middle with them. We're actually going to give you guys a few games, talk about a little kind of overview of the slate, and then we're going to take it back into the 4Deep.com Discord over there. Benny, if you could just throw up the risk-free month thing. We do have a promo going right now, and you'd be getting in at the perfect time because we're actually down in this Houston game right now. Anyone who signs up for the monthly package, I would advise you to sign up for the combo package. That would give you everything that we have, betting and DFS, because Scarface already said he's going to fucking hit for 100,000 this weekend. So be ready for that. Anyone who signs up for that package and uses promo code risk-free month, if I lose money this weekend from Friday to Monday, if I lose units, we'll refund your month and you will get to keep the month for free. If you're not looking for that and you just want to get into a smaller package, you can use code VIP20. That'll give you 20% off the weekly, the monthly, the combo, the DFS. If you're a current betting subscriber, go buy the DFS package, hit us up. We'll take care of you guys. And the same thing on the DFS side if you want to get in on the betting side. One last promo to talk about before we get to the show. First, let me introduce Healy, and then I'll let Scarface tell you about the promo. Brian, how you doing, brother? Don't say Chuba Hubbard.
Don't worry, we're gonna get the plenty to Chuba soon.
I wasn't going to open.
Not in the first three games, are they? All right, go.
No, luckily they're on bye.
We got plenty of time for Chuba.
Chuba's on bye. The Eagles are on bye. The Jets. I mean, it's perfect. None of them are on the main slate. None of them are on the main slate.
But we're still going to come up with something.
Oh, we're just talking Eagles. Great. But
yeah, the first fixed game in America that went in your favor, I would say. The Jets got the win.
Okay. You guys just suck.
Yep.
You guys suck.
No,
$1,000 to each of you. $1,000 to each of you out of the Tommy G fucking donation fund. I feel like I was robbed both times. I rewatched the show, and my strongest stance was DeMarco, and I ended up making the bet on Chuba Hubbard.
The funniest thing was I told you Chuba's going to come out of the gate with 25 yards on the first rush. It was the second rush for 19 yards. Right there, I knew we had it.
First time I clicked on the ESPN, I was like, okay, well, there goes $2,000. $2,000 I'll never see again. Fuck these two.
The chat was going crazy.
Yeah, fuck the chat. I hope they fucking kiss my ass too. Jeffy, you have a special going on right now where people can compete in the DFS chat for two $555 Millie Maker tickets. I believe it's you and Russ that are putting these up, one each. That's $1,100 in prizes.
Yep.
So if you're not a subscriber and you think we're trash, come in our Discord by the week and come beat our DFS subs. Let's see if you're better.
It's a subscriber only contest.
That's what I'm saying, but they got to buy the week and then come beat us then.
By the week.
No, by the week, come win a Millie Maker ticket.
DraftKings contest. We're giving away for first place and second place 2 tickets to next weekend's $555 Millie Maker contest. It's the same contest that Russ won in week 2. He had 1 bullet in that tournament. He turned it into $1 million. I decided to put up a ticket, and then he heard what I was doing. He decided to put up a second ticket. It's just our way of giving back to the subscribers. So it's a subscriber-only contest. Sign up, enter the contest. You got a chance to get a ticket into this contest for next week.
Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, a lot of you may not look up that high in the stakes, but that contest is not like the normal Millie Maker.
It's about 5,000 people in the
4,500 or something like that. I think it was that week I entered. Yeah, something around that range. But yeah, I mean, that's a realistic chance. I know 4,500, 5,000 is still a lot of people, but to win $1 million.
Russ did it with 1 bullet. He had 1 bullet.
The same week, I didn't put a lineup in it, and I think I would have come in second, or I might have even won it. But so you can do it. We've all done it before. We've all hit. Everyone sees it all the time. Oh, I came in 190th in the Millie Maker. Well, you would have won the 555 by 20 points. You know, if you're 80th in the Millie Maker. So that's a winnable contest. You could be a millionaire thanks to Scarface and Russ. Just sign up for the DFS.
Big shout out to Russ. Big shout out
Russ is awesome.
Russ is awesome. One of the most awesome dudes you'll meet.
Yeah, so much better than you two. I wish we could trade you guys out for Russ. So much better. Fucking just swap you idiots out. So let's get to it, right? So we're going to start here, guys. We're going to go for about 20, 25 minutes over here, and then we're going to take it behind the paywall on a different YouTube channel. So get signed up. Promo code's at the bottom if you want the risk-free month, or if you just want to use a week, you can do VIP 20 if you just wanted to do that for a weekly package. But do the combo. Get the betting and the DFS. Both sides correlate off each other. So let's start with a kind of overview of this slate to start. Actually, why don't we do this? We're just biggest hit and biggest miss from last week, Healy.
As far as biggest hit goes, I mean, Raheem Mostert, he was very popular, but I think this is a spot we said you can't fade this guy. And he went out there and just absolutely nuked the slate. As far as biggest misses for me, I had the Eagles minus 20.5. They lost outright.
Let's go. Jerry, what about you?
I mean, just to talk about the Eagles, once we found out that Sauce was out of the game, I was on to Devontae Smith a little bit. He kind of missed for me. The running backs that we talked about, the locks on the slate, I mean, they came through for everybody. You needed both of them, including Chuba. Mostert, Chuba came through for all of us. My biggest miss was on Devontae Smith, though. But I talked about Garrett Wilson on the show. I ended up playing him in a lot of my lineups. I mean, he had a couple of flags thrown his way that cost me a bunch of yards on the bonus and all that, but he kind of came through for me.
Yeah, I nailed the wide receivers, the 3 wide receivers I gave up on the show: Cup, Garrett Wilson, and Drake London. That was a fucking nut trifecta right there: mid-price, high-price, and low-price guy that kept the salary normalized. My biggest miss was on Chuba Hubbard. I missed $2,000 because I didn't play Chuba Hubbard, so I missed out on that. The DeMarcado fade, I thought that was pretty slick call, telling everyone Ingram was actually the play and not DeMarcado. But Justin Fields was my quarterback, and that all went to shit with DJ
I missed
Moore.
on Fields also.
Yeah, when Fields got hurt. I mean, he wasn't playing good anyway, but when he got hurt, it killed DJ Moore too, and the whole fucking lineup fell apart. It was sitting pretty to start today. Let's get to it now. So we do the injuries game by game on the site. We do the weather game by game because you guys are here for free, because some of you won't be joining us over there and you'll be getting your ass kicked by us this weekend. I want to give a kind of high level, just the top 4 or 5 players in the league, what to watch out for. We know Christian McCaffrey is questionable on Monday. He's not on the slate, so we don't have to worry about him. David Montgomery, set status over there, boys. He's not playing, right? He's out officially. I think it's Jahmyr Gibbs week, right?
Correct.
I mean, it's looking like Gibbs right now. He's still got a Q tag, but it's looking like he's going to be starting.
Yeah, Montgomery, I think, is ruled out with a Q tag on there. I think DraftKings is just delayed, and I think Gibbs is officially in, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I read that earlier today. Montgomery's officially out. Never mind. I needed to refresh the page. We have Kyron Williams out. What are you guys doing there? You think we queue up some Zach Evans?
Well, we got to talk about that because they called up your boy Darrell Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they might be even working in a little Myles Gaskin.
All right, we'll get to that game behind the paywall, so you'll find out about that. DK Metcalf, Aaron Jones, both questionable. Justin Fields is out.
My thought is they both actually play. DK looks like it's going to be a true. We're not going to find out till game time most likely.
DK, I wouldn't be as confident about.
Yeah, and I mean he's in that afternoon window, so yeah, there's guys to pivot to in that price range, but we'll obviously break it all down with who benefits if he's out, who to look to if he's in, etc.
Okay, and then we'll talk about Deshaun Watson. There's another big one that everyone's focusing on when we get to the Cleveland game on Game 3.
Also, they named Brian Hoyer as the starting quarterback for the
I said that on Stay Cash, and I said he was starting, and then everyone jumped me. I was like, maybe I missed something, but yeah, I figured it would be Hoyer.
Yeah,
and we're going to talk about that in Game 2 on this slate. So we'll get to a couple of the big quarterback news coming up. Start off with Detroit, Baltimore. This game is in Baltimore. Don't have much injury concern here outside of Montgomery, Healy. I think we got Reynolds as a Q tag, and outside of that, we pretty much know where everything is.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, some defensive injuries, but we're looking for playmakers here and fantasy points. I think this is just overall, just to set a little bit of context, this is a very challenging week from just a projection standpoint. All totals, for the most part, are significantly lower than we've seen historically. Only a couple that are in like the mid 40s even. One opened over 50.
Throwing a stat for you there, 12-2-1 to the under last Sunday. The games. 61%.
It's reflected in what the totals are this week. The totals are the lowest I've seen in forever.
61% unders, 39% overs on the year.
Yeah, and what I think is people are going to really struggle to build, especially folks that just use like optimizers and just straight projections that really don't know much about football or don't dig into it. I think those folks are going to struggle because no player is really projecting extremely well for their price versus other weeks and other slates. So this is a week I think
It's a week to get creative. This is a week to get creative.
This is
exactly.
This is a week where if you're not using an algorithm, it's going to benefit you for sure. There's a lot of human factor that needs to be put into this week. Probably part of the reason why I set a lineup in like fucking 8 minutes. I was like, oh, this is great. I was like, this was easy.
Yeah, and I think most of the ownership, at least right now, is kind of floating to the afternoon window. That's where you see some of the mid 40s totals. So these 1 o'clock games, I think there's some opportunity if we can uncover some plays we like to take advantage of. And this Lions-Ravens game is somewhat attractive. Definitely has some pieces that I have some initial interest in. We know Jared Goff's notorious home road splits, significantly worse on the road here. We'll have Jahmyr Gibbs. He's due back. The Ravens are giving up nearly 125 yards a game on the ground. He's an explosive runner. Doesn't need massive amount of volume to pay off his price tag. He's similar to like a Breece Hall is the way I kind of look at him. Has that big play upside. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I know, Tommy, it's your boy for years and years, but essentially you just chalk this guy up for 100 yards.
He's got him right there.
Or a touchdown like every game. I mean, it's all this guy does. And I know Jameson Williams isn't playing a ton, but what he does is really stretch the field and opens up that underneath for Amon-Ra really to operate. So despite Williams only playing, around 35 to 45% of the snaps, I think that's going to really benefit Amon-Ra. So he's one of the higher priced receivers that I really like this week and isn't getting a ton of attention. Certainly can always look to Laporta. He's back there, just one of the.
By the way, with Laporta, the Q tag fell off him. He's good. He was questionable all week. He's actually good. Full practice.
He looks good to go.
Yeah. So I have a lot of interest in this Lions side. On the Ravens side, the backfield's just a complete timeshare disarray. You're picking straws. So that's a fade for me with Gus and Justice. Don't mind Zay Flowers or Mark Andrews here. Lions are been extremely generous to the tight end. It's always tough, really paying up to those stickers for tight end, but third most receptions, fourth most yards allowed versus the tight end. So don't mind that. And Zay Flowers is just getting a shit ton of targets, 30% target share on the year. And he's priced as like a number 2 receiver. He's down in that 5.7K range. So he's on my radar. So a lot of plays in this game that I have some interest in this week. I'm curious where Jerry's looking as well.
And by the way, guys, those of you just tuning in or here for the first time, we'll also be narrowing this down. I'll be writing a full in-depth article. Actually, I already got a half written. Keely writes his, Scarface writes his. So we're going to all have articles out for this week where we do narrow it down to our favorite 2 or 3 plays at each position, tiered by price, tiered by ownership, etc. So this is more of a high-level run-through, and then by Saturday, we'll have everything locked in. Jerry, what are you looking at on this?
So, yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you on the Lions side. It's Amon-Ra for me. He just seems to get targets nonstop, and he's finding the end zone now. He's going to be low owned. I don't see much ownership on him. He looks maybe to come in under 10% like he was. I
play him pretty much every week. He's never owned because he's up in that price range. And some people probably. Some of you tuning into this from a gambling perspective might be tuning in going, what do you mean? I tuned into a DFS show to play Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes, because he's up there in that range with the Keenan Allens, the Stephon Diggs, the Tyreek Hills. Cooper Kupp's kind of another level, and Hill has jumped out of that level. AJ Brown, there's just a lot of sexier names that are there than a guy who's pretty much catching a lot of 8-yard passes throughout the game. There's guys who can catch 50, 60-yard slate-breaking touchdowns multiple times, like an AJ Brown and Stephon Diggs. So that's why Amon-Ra is a great DFS play. It's been a great DFS play all year, and I love it this week for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, he's going to be 10% or maybe less than that.
I mean, you're 90% of people are playing.
Last week he was on the Millie Maker winner at like 5%. Nobody played him against Tampa Bay. It's the same situation this week with him. So he's definitely in play. The running back situation for Detroit, I don't know. It's kind of a mess for me. I've been watching a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not seeing it out of him. I got to see it from him before I can click on his name. I know Monty's out. He's going to be getting most of the carries. I'm not sure how they're going to work Reynolds in or what his situation is with his injury, but I haven't seen enough from Gibbs to click on his name just yet. So I'm going to be off of him. Goff also, I'm going to be off of him. I know he's been playing better on the road, but I think I would just rather get my exposure with the Lions passing game by just playing St. Brown and knowing that he's going to get those targets. On the Baltimore side, I like Lamar a lot here. I think the Lions are playing their second road game in a row here. They haven't really been tested by any good quarterbacks the last few weeks. They've been playing against pretty much like shit quarterbacks. I think Lamar is going to be their first test since like Mahomes. And I think the way to attack the Lions, like Healy said, is with the tight end. So I think you could see a big game from Andrews. I like a little Lamar Andrews stack kind of in this game. I would say Andrews is one of my favorite tight ends on the slate.
Yeah, Andrews definitely in play this week, and I'm a guy who never plays Andrews, but I do like Lamar a lot this week. You can't run on this team, so I think a lot of people are going to fade away from Lamar. Do you think that'll affect it? Because I think that's a benefit, personally.
I don't see Lamar getting a lot of ownership here.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be very high owned, and people see, oh, this is the number one rushing defense in the NFL, or you can't run on this team. It's different when a quarterback's running. Mahomes was the leading rusher last week, 6 for 45, I think it was, and the next highest guy was like Pacheco at 23. So he was like double the next leading rusher. And that was Patrick Mahomes. Lamar is obviously extremely superior to Mahomes from a rushing perspective. So if you can't run on a team, what do you end up doing? Throwing more. And all we want Lamar to be doing is dropping back. That's where his biggest running plays come from. They're not necessarily the design runs. They're when he's running around and then fucking takes off. So if you're telling me Lamar's going to get an uptick in dropbacks this week, and we could see a ceiling game of maybe 38 to 45 dropbacks compared to his normal 19 to 28, where they pound the ball 28 times. You give Lamar 40 dropbacks, he's going to take off for at least 7 or 8 of those, and we're going to see a pretty big rushing game out of him.
And what's funny about this game, the total on this game is 43.5. Like at first glance, you're like, this is kind of a low total, but considering what's going on with the
new total in the NFL, yeah,
one of the highest, not the highest, but I mean, it's a pretty high total.
It's a normal total. That's the new 47.5. That's the new 48. 43 is the new 48. I'm 43, so hopefully it's not the new 48, even though I probably look 48. Any sneaky plays here, guys? I'm with you guys. I'm not going to repeat what you guys said. I'm a little higher than you guys on Jahmyr Gibbs. I think there's a lot of receiving upside here. I think we could see 5-6 catches out of him to kind of offset the fact that he's not going to, get 18, 20 carries no matter who's there. I would like to see Reynolds out in this situation because I could see Reynolds filling in a little bit of the Montgomery role and Gibbs still being kind of the second back, kind of alternating almost like an equal timeshare. So if Reynolds is out, that's going to move me to a lot more Gibbs. I think he'll end up seeing the field 70% of the time. I think this kid's a fucking superstar. I have a little difference of opinion than Healy on this one. I think he's explosive, and I think he's got that big play upside where he could break one for 50, 60 yards and win you the slate on one carry. And that's really what we're looking for rather than those Najee Harris plotters, that are coming in there and you need 25 carries to get to the number. So I'm higher on Gibbs in this situation. What do you think his ownership's going to be?
If I'm
Let's
guessing,
pull it up.
15
Gibbs, I have him like around 19%.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if it gets up into the 30s or something, I'd be Fred. But if it's 20, that's fine. I'm still in on Gibbs at 6,300 on a slate that I'm not enamored with the running backs on. So probably won't have too much Laporta. Baltimore's great versus the tight end. So it's going to be a fade there outside of a Millie Maker team or something. I'm with you guys on the rest.
Tommy, I will note if Marcus Williams, he's questionable. Ravens hit safety. He's the one that shuts down all the tight ends. If he's out, it is a matchup boost for Laporta. So
and now Laporta comes crazy contrarian right now. Now Laporta becomes a great play because I didn't even know Marcus Williams was banged up.
He's questionable, yes.
He's 400 cheaper than Andrews, and they're going to see that big red number 1 on their DraftKings sheet next to Laporta, and no one's going to play him, and anyone's running an algo knows that they're bad against the tight end. So Laporta becomes a very sneaky play. Keep your eye on that. We'll update you on that on the site. Vegas, Chicago. This is obviously a game I'm heavily focused on for one reason and one reason only. I will have 110% Davante Adams this week. I think Hoyer is an upgrade to Garoppolo for Adams because Hoyer's just going to stare at him and target him the whole entire game. And this is just, I mean, I don't care if he's, what is his ownership going to be, Davante Adams, this week?
He's not going to be much, man.
I mean, that's insane. He should be fucking
the ownership
45% owned.
The ownership in this game is going to Jacobs.
I mean, listen, I like Jacobs as a play here too, obviously going against a terrible run defense in Chicago. But
I mean, on DraftKings, Davante is under 10% for sure.
That's maniacal.
And that's because of the quarterback.
Fucking maniacal. Guys, stop everything you're doing and play 100% Davante Adams. He's been screaming all week about fucking give me the ball, I need the ball. Going as far as where people think he wants to be traded.
All over.
You have Brian Hoyer, a veteran, who actually, I said this on Staycation, is going to be in a quarterback competition with Garoppolo if he plays well for a couple weeks. They don't like Garoppolo out there right now. He won a couple games, but he didn't play well. So Hoyer's going in there trying to earn the trust and love of Adams and the Vegas fans. He's going to just pepper Devontae in this game. And because it's Brian Hoyer, we probably don't have blowout risk, right? Even though Fields is out, it's not like Brian Hoyer is going to go throw up 35 points and you're going to be running the ball the second half. So I love Devontae Adams, and his prop is 68.5. That is literally free money. If you make one bet this weekend, that's the bet you make. 68.5 on Devontae. I think he gets that at halftime, literally. So that's my all-in play of the week. Scarface, let's start with you. What do you like in this game?
I was going to ask, do you think Devontae's ownership now gets bumped up with
because I just said that
with Hoyer announced? Maybe. I mean, maybe because it was
no, I don't think so, because I don't think people like Hoyer. Hoyer's a check down guy, right? So when people think of Hoyer, they're thinking, oh, yeah, he'll probably end up with like 8 for 60, So, but that's where Devontae lives, right? Devontae lives in that fucking 10-yard range. That's where he does all his damage. And then he'll occasionally take a slant or catch a fade route on the outside. But I don't think it bumps up, Healy, right?
No,
I mean, the other scenario, but
yeah, not significantly. I think you might see he might go from 8 to 12, something like that. I don't think it's significant.
Yeah, all in fucking Adams, and especially now that you're saying, Jared, that everyone's on Jacobs, that helps me more because that's going to keep him suppressed, right? That'll keep him suppressed.
Yeah, so I mean, Jacobs projected to be one of the highest running backs on the slate, highest owned running backs on the slate. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Raiders to lean on him there. But yeah, Devontae is definitely the contrarian play in this game. Actually, I don't even mind Hoyer a little bit.
Yeah, 100% his price,
47, 4,800, whatever. Yeah. You can pair him up. It's. I mean, you don't need much from Hoyer for him to get there. Pair him up with Devontae, and on the Bears side, though, I can tell you that I'm completely avoiding the passing game here. Yeah, they got that rookie. What's his name in? I'm definitely not playing him. I'm not playing either receiver.
I studied not playing the tight ends. And I'm like, who?
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way he's gonna beat me. So I'm just not. I'm gonna avoid that mess completely. Yeah. As far as the running backs go, I think I got a lot more interest if Roschon is ruled in. There's no way I'm gonna go back to Foreman. I don't think he didn't look good last week. And if he's gonna be chalk again, I think that's easy chalk to just cross off. It's Roschon I'm interested in if he clears the concussion protocol.
I will tell you this, Healy, you can eat up all the fucking Vegas offense in this game, which normally that's not something we're excited to go do. But you can eat up all the offense with Devontae Adams and Jacobs this week. I think Jacoby Myers is a product of Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's not that he's this fucking superstar receiver. But you can go Jacobs, Adams, and sneakily Healy here at 6,500. No one's going to touch him. I think DJ Moore may be better off right now with this kid back or whatever the fuck his name is than Fields. He saw 8 targets last week. It's not like you saw a big drop off after Fields left. He actually produced a little bit more. I think you could actually consider a little fucking mini stack here. It's a little too expensive for my liking to do the full, Jacobs, Adams, DJ Moore, but I would not be surprised if DJ Moore sneaks up on people. Get the fuck! Get out! Let's go! Fuck yeah! Let's go! Yes, fucking everything! Everything! Altuve, home run. Let's fucking go!
Oof. Man, right at 807, I thought it was a Schwarber bomb leadoff.
3-run shot.
We have Astros. I give this out for free. Astros over 4.5. They just hit it. Astros took the lead in the top of the 9th. We have Altuve to get a hit. We have Altuve 2+ bases. We have Altuve 3+ bases. Fucking go. Okay. Back to the show. That's why you sign up. Let's go.
Now nobody's signing up for this. You're up $75 fucking minutes.
On the round table. Let's fucking go. All right. Take care of the chat. I'm on a show.
Yeah, so I think obviously Badgett's a little bit of an unknown, right? D2 product. I think he's the first D2 quarterback to start since in the last 10, 15 years, something like that. Certainly not projecting well. I get it. If you're going to play a lot of Raiders, I wouldn't mind taking a shot with a DJ Moore. He would be the guy I would look to. I mean, talk about the eye test in the last game, Jerry. You said you can't play a running back till he shows you something. I mean, Josh Jacobs, he looks dusted. He's even getting the opportunity and just isn't good. Hasn't looked good at all.
But it is the Bears defense, man. Bears.
I mean, he's had pretty ripe matchups. Not all of them, but he's had some good matchups along the way as well. And the opportunity has been there. He's just moseying along for 3 point something.
We got to be a little bit careful here, because you do have to factor in the fact that he literally did not practice at all in the offseason, didn't play in the preseason, was not with the team, right? So he's a guy who I expected to be quiet for a few weeks, and he's been way quieter than we've expected, averaging, I don't think he's at a game where he's broken 4 yards a carry. But we're at that kind of point right now where if he doesn't break out this week or next, especially this week, we need to see. He's been slowly trending up, right? I'm looking at it right now. 17 for 58, 20 for 69, 25 for 77. So at least they're giving him the carries. They're giving him the opportunities. This is a better matchup than he's had.
He's down for a breakout game.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he does it this week, great. If he gets 26 carries for fucking 82 yards at the end of this week, we might have to start looking at just moving him off at that price. But I think you're good now this week.
Yeah. And for me, it's definitely Devontae. I think folks are going to run to Michael Mayer, the tight end. Kind of popped, had a good game last week. 2.7K. It is a good price. He played over 80% of the snaps. I think what some folks aren't considering is Devontae Adams only saw 5 targets in that game. So I don't expect Myers to see another 5 to 8 targets, because I think Devontae Adams is going to get peppered with targets. So targets are just going to go elsewhere. So just be mindful of that if you think Mayer's a lock and load play at 2.7K. I just don't trust that those targets are going to be there again. He's likely in the more 3 to 5 range.
What's that?
I don't trust Mayer.
I don't think you need to trust Mayer at 2,600, guys. I mean, it's a tight end position.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get at. Don't just lock button him because he had a good game.
Yeah, no. I mean, and you got a different quarterback, obviously, in this situation too. I don't think you could really get hurt here. I mean, even if he goes 3 for 30 at 2,700, that's not killing your lineup. It's not going to win you a milli maker. So if you're in a large leverage tournament, I would stay off him. But if you're playing cash games and you're locking Meyer, I have no problem with it. If you're going for the ceiling, you got to try and have guys who have 20-point ceilings at almost every position. So that I agree with you. But yeah, for the cash games and stuff, I think you lock and load him. Anything else in this game? So we're actually all kind of on. We all think DJ Moore is a fine play. I thought I was going to be alone in that.
I'm not playing any of those receivers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not as high on this game. I'd say if you're going to play, I think if you play both Raiders, I wouldn't mind playing.
You prefer that more? Yeah, I probably if I play 2 guys from this game, I mean outside of Mayer, who obviously you could plug in just for the salary set, I'm probably looking more Adams. I think we can get some sneakiness here. Both quarterbacks that departed from those 2 teams sucked, so it's not like we're looking at huge downgrades on either side. I might see upgrades, honestly, this great. Cleveland, Indianapolis. Obviously, the big news right now is Deshaun Watson. Does he want to play football? Does he care? Is he playing? Should have been back last week, a lot of people said. Still questionable up until game time. I did bet Cleveland last week. I'm a big PJ Walker guy. I said on the show. Actually, I didn't bet Cleveland. I didn't bet San Fran last week. I told everyone to leave the San Fran money line out of their parlays. I had a feeling about this. I'm a PJ Walker guy from the XFL. Even though he didn't play great, he's better than DTR. I think Cooper's almost quarterback proof, even though he didn't see a lot of catches last week. He benefited from 158-yard catch. That's kind of what he does. I kind of like Cooper this week at this price. I don't think anyone's going to play him if Deshaun doesn't play. I like him either way.
I think you're going to see some ownership on Cooper.
With Deshaun in, but I think if Deshaun goes out, that shit fucking plummets, right?
I think with or without Deshaun, you're gonna see some ownership on Cooper. He's just in that price range where you kind of
you know what I mean? You don't have many guys that could drop 30 at 6K, so
yeah. I mean, with the uncertainty at quarterback, I think Cleveland in this game they're gonna lean on the running game here more. We saw like Jerome Ford have a pretty good game last week. He had 19 touches against a tough Niners defense, and now the Colts just lost their best D lineman, Grover Stewart, to a suspension. It just seems pretty easy for me to play Ford at only like 5,100 on DK. I mean, he's going to come in at less ownership on FanDuel at 6,600 too, so he's a good play over there. I think Ford's a good play in this game. I think the only other player I would have interest on the Cleveland side is David Njoku. The Colts give up a lot of points to the tight end, and I mean Njoku's playing on 80% of the snaps right now, and I think he's a great value option at 3,400 on DraftKings.
By the way, Trey Turner hit. Let's go. Already? Straight skull fucking. Yeah. I heard half of what you said there, Jerry, but I'm sure the second half was incredible. This isn't for me. It's for them. So if you have a sneakiest play here, who did you say it was?
I would say David Njoku.
Okay. All right. I don't hit that. Yeah, 3,400. It's not bad. Healy, what are we looking at with Downs here at 4,500? You saw 8 targets last week. Saw 6 the week before. Got in the box last week, which saved him. 21 yards on 8 targets is fucking maniacal, considering he had 97 off 6 targets the week before. People are going to be all over Downs at 4,500 here. I mean, you can't really run on Cleveland. You can't really throw on Cleveland. Is anyone going to be playing anything on Indianapolis here?
No, I don't think they're going to get much love. And to be honest, I don't like much here. This defense is pretty nasty. Defensive front is
even on
just gets home constantly. And Minshew, did not look good under pressure last week, and this defense is significantly better. So I'm not going to get to anything here on this Indy side, despite being at home. For me, it's, I'm fine firing up the Browns D, correlating it with Jerome Ford. In tournaments, I think he's seeing about 63% of the backfield snaps, but he's still getting around 16 to 18 touches. At that price tag, perfectly fine with it, as Jerry alluded to. Indy was not good against the run. They've allowed the 7th most fantasy points to running backs, and they just lost their run stuffer. So who's cheating, taking Pete's. So that's where I'm going in this game. Even if Watson's in and they said he's back,
how effective can he be?
Yeah, if he's in, he's actually getting ownership. It looks like, if for anyone that's projecting him in, he does project well. But it's a shoulder. He doesn't want to play football. I'm personally not going there.
Yeah. Jerome, I'm factoring Kareem Hunt a little bit more than most, I think, because I'm assuming Jerome Ford is going to be pretty chalky. Words. Jerome Ford's going to be pretty chalky. Is that a fair statement?
I think he's going to be on, yeah.
Right? 25-ish? What do you think?
Let's see. Ford, just under, I have him about 18%. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely owned in that range.
5,100 at 18%. I'm taking that, especially if Kareem Hunt is out. Indianapolis is a sieve to running backs through the air, too. We could see an extreme ceiling receiving game here from Ford. Kareem's Hunting. That's obviously going to take away from him a little bit through the air. But at 18%, I thought he'd be flirting with 25, 30. That's still a play. So it's Ford. Amari Cooper's probably my favorite play in this game. But it's Ford and Cooper for me. I'm not touching Deshaun Watson or anything else. I think they're gonna be all right on the ground here, running against this Colts defense, which is bottom 10 in the NFL. So, oh Jesus, here come the Rangers. Well, we got the hedge in. Anything else here, guys? We got to shut it down and move over behind the paywall. I know you got to be out of here at around 9:30, Jerry. So we'll take a little 10-minute break. Head out. Why don't you give me one or two of your favorite plays out of the 3 games we talked about, guys? Any of these 3 games get someone definitely going to be in your roster?
Jerome Ford for sure, and I love the Devontae Adams play.
Yeah, really.
The first game we kicked off with Detroit, the Ravens. I like the Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Mark Andrews kind of coming back on the other side quite a bit.
I'm definitely going to have Devontae Adams in my lineup. That's 100%. And if Kareem Hunt's out, I'm definitely going to have Jerome Ford in my lineup on this. That's it, boys. So final word, Scarface. How do they go get in the Millie Maker contest?
Go to 4Deep, subscribe, use Scarface 20, get in there, jump in the contest, take it down, get in the Millie, take down the Millie. How hard is that? It's not hard. Scarface 20 gets you 20% off everything. I'm going to put that on the betting side and the DFS side. Scarface 20 gets you 20% off anything in the entire site. I'm so excited over that Altuve home run. I can't speak. I lost my ability to say words. I had so much on his total bases. Healy, final words. We kept it tame here for all the freeloaders, but behind the paywall, we're gonna go. We're gonna get after it. We're gonna fight. Right now. We're gonna battle. We're gonna make wagers. Yeah, we're gonna make fun of the Jets, the Eagles, Chuba Hubbard. Making fun of the fucking Jets all year, motherfucker. I'll tell you that. Your days of making fun of the Jets are over. So no, I will say we got NFL this weekend, but we have NBA also kicking off next week. Bets, DFS, huge. Big MMA part tomorrow too. Huge MMA, we have you covered. This is the time. Every sport, fucking skull crushing across the industry. So get over there now. You can buy the weekly or smaller package. Use Scarface 20 if you want to buy the monthly with a 20% discount. Use Scarface 20 on the DFS. If you're doing the betting side, then on the betting side, use the promo code risk-free month. And if I lose money this weekend, I will actually refund your month. So risk-free month, 4deep.com. We're going to give you guys 10 minutes to sign up. We'll be on there. Call it 8:30. It's 8:18 right now. We're going to refill our drinks. I'm going to go take a shit and fucking jump around and celebrate a little bit.
And then we're going to start fighting and drinking and getting wild till 9:30 over there at 4deep.com. Stay tuned for all the articles, all the content on the DFS side and the 24-hour chat. We'll be rocking all weekend through the UFC card and through the Sunday slate. For Benny behind the glass, Scarface, and Brian Healy, I am Tommy G. Get over to 4deep.com, sign up. See, there's a new channel. So you're going to get the invite posted in the Discord and on the bets page and on the DFS page. So look for it. You'll see it. It'll be everywhere. You can't miss it. But go get signed up now to catch the rest of the show for the next 7 games. Good luck. Stay cashing, motherfuckers. Let's fucking go, Altuve.